Hey folks, it's Kevin. In this video, we're going to be talking about why you should not hire a discount agent when selling your home. When I go to meet with sellers at a listing presentation, which is just basically a meeting with the seller to discuss the value of their home, how much they'll net at the end of the sale, and how we'll position their home using our unique and custom marketing plan to ensure that their home sells, by the end of our presentation, we typically talk about the total commission earned. And in San Diego, the industry standard is about 6%. So a portion of that goes to the agent who represents the buyer, and the portion of that goes to the agent representing the seller. In this demonstration, I am the agent representing the seller. Now, if the seller that is, has any objections regarding paying 6% total commission, then I'll typically ask this question. Now, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I just want to understand, because I'm much like you in the sense that I always like to shop around. But let me ask, is this more about how much I am paid from the sale, or more about what you net at the end of the sale and walk away with and what hits your bank account? And once I'm able to differentiate those out, then I'm able to gain clarity on what their position is. And they'll typically say, most times, it's about how much they earn at the end of the sale. They say, no, Kevin, it has nothing to do with how much you make. I think that you'll earn it, but it's more about what we walk away with at the end of the sale. And so I'll then ask this question is, great, well, how much do you need to net at the end of the sale in order for it to make financial sense for you? And they'll give me a number, and let's just use $100,000 for this example. And I'll say, okay, great. So what you're saying is, if I'm able to net you $100,000, then I can earn that total commission and we can move forward at 6%. And then they'll say, well, what if you were to reduce down to 5%? Since my home is worth $500,000, an additional percent would be $5,000. And $105,000 actually sounds good. So they're changing their mind as we're talking. And if that's the case and they're adamant about reducing to 5%, then I will say, you know what? I'm not opposed to reducing, but I would love to share with you how a commission is split. So that way there's clarity on both ends and you guys know exactly what to expect when you see the commission paid to both agents. And that way you can decide whether or not that's worth it to you. Is that fair? And they'll typically say yes. Then what I'll do is I'll pull out my wallet and I'll typically carry 6 $1 bills with me. Now for this demonstration, you'll see I have napkins with a dollar sign on it. These are representing those dollar bills. So just imagine that there were $6 bills that are on the table and I'm sitting next to or across from the seller. And I'll do this demonstration. I'll say, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I'm using these dollar bills as a representation of how that commission is split up. So that way you better understand and we're all on the same page. And they'll say, okay. And I'll say, well, as you know, the total commission is split by both the agent who represents the buyer and the agent who represents the seller. Now the standard buyer's agent commission in San Diego is 2.5%. So because we don't have halves and we only have $6 bills, I'm going to go ahead and remove 3. But just remember that there's an additional 0.5 that was taken from this and added to this, okay? Just remember that as we're closing the demonstration. So up front, I'm going to remove 3, and that leaves us with 3%. Well, knowing that your home is worth $500,000, 3% would represent $15,000, each representing $5,000. That is quite the payday. Now, what I want you to know is whether you list with me or any other agent, we all work for a company or we work with a broker and or we are the broker. And so there are fees and costs associated to that. So up front, one of these goes to our broker. I don't even see that money. Okay, now we're left with 2. Well, just like you, I have to pay my taxes. And so we know that about 1/3 of our income goes to taxes. Living here in California, that is. And then we're left with 1. And what does this represent? This represents $5,000. Well, as you know, being that I'm representing you on the sale, there are also marketing costs that I front that I don't pass along to the sellers. So if this home doesn't sell, not only am I at risk of losing out on my money, but this isn't money that I charge you on the back end anyways. It's just something that I pay for. It is included in our services and included in that total commission, okay? So knowing that this is what is remaining, and a portion of that goes towards marketing your home, and the remaining goes towards feeding my family and maintaining my lifestyle or creating my lifestyle. If, for example, I were to remove this and now we're at 5%, okay? Or let's just say we were at 5.5, because remember we still have that half from the buyer's side. Well, if I just have a half here, and we'll go ahead and put this in half, and I were to have to market your home or feed my family, if I had to make that decision, how was I going to invest the money earned from my sales? If I had to make a decision on whether I was going to feed my family or market your home, which do you think would be at the top of my priority list? It begs a good question. You see, anytime you reduce your commission, what happens is agents have to allocate their costs a different way than if they were to have a full 6%. And the reality is that these agents are not invested in selling your home. What they're invested in is earning the listing so they can put a sign in the front yard, they can put the property on the MLS, and guess who's going to call that phone number to inquire about that house? Oh, that's right. Buyers. And guess how much a buyer's agent commission is for your home? That's right. 2.5%. Oh, and guess what that buyer's agent doesn't have to pay for? Marketing costs. So guess what? That buyer's agent commission ultimately is going to earn them more money that they can create that lifestyle and feed their family with. But these agents know that as long as they're able to put their sign in the front yard and put the property on the MLS, they can get those inquiries from buyers. And whether they buy your home or the home down the street, they're still going to make that 2.5% commission. So let me ask you, are you looking for an agent who is looking to sell your home and that is invested in getting this home sold for you? Or are you looking for an agent who's willing to let the home sit on the market to collect buyer leads? And that's typically what I'm sharing with them, guys. I hope that this video was of help. In no way am I saying that if you discount your commission, you are a bad agent. I understand that there are certain situations where you have to do so. And to any home sellers out there, I hope that this was able to provide you with clarity. Again, in no way are you a bad person if you ask for the commission to be reduced. In fact, it's not uncommon for sellers to want to get a good deal. I'm the same way, whether I'm buying something at a store or shopping interest rates online. I love to shop around to make sure that I'm getting the best deal. So I hope this didn't offend anybody, and I hope that it was just used as an example so that way everybody's able to gain clarity. If you have any questions, please message me directly. But if you like this video, please smash the like button and please send it to a friend or a family member who you think could benefit from it. Lastly, please subscribe to my channel as it helps me grow and push out more content just like this. I'll see you in the next one.